So how did I come up with the idea that I wanted a piece of land and be self-sufficient, off-grid, all that? It was kind of, it took a while for all that to develop. It starts off when it was before the pandemic. I was living in McKinney, Texas, and lost my job, got evicted, a wife, 2 kids. Saving it was burning down fast. Bills were like $5,000 a month. It was crazy. I was looking at the future. What do I do? How do I get out of this? Had probably 5 months before I ran out of money. So I had to do something. Ended up in Tulsa. Luckily, we found an apartment there. It was roach infested. So we really took a step down. I was solid middle class back then, and couldn't find a job in Tulsa. My wife at the time, she found 2 part-time jobs. That's how we survived. Because the money ran out. I ended up working at one place for a couple months. I just couldn't do it anymore. It was 6/12s. So 6 days a week, 12 hours a day, and we didn't have a car. Our car broke down and got towed shortly after we got to Tulsa. It was just a lot of bad luck and things just happening all at once. Anyway, so we're living on probably $1,200 a month at that point. Rent's like $950. So we're just barely scraping by. I'm having to walk to the store, a few miles with a backpack and buying what groceries we could get. And she worked her butt off. I would apply for jobs, get an interview, take a bus if I had change. Otherwise, I'd have to walk it. You find out real quick in the city you're in, when you have to use public transportation, you find out that, wow, there's maybe a sidewalk on one side of the street but not on the other. It's really weird. Or there's no sidewalks at all. They're not very, very friendly to people who have to walk around. I'm sure there are parts of town that are good. And the bus stops are usually, a mile away or so. I've never been in an apartment where it was right there. I've seen those, but I've never lived in one. So yeah, I couldn't get hired. I ended up in that roach apartment. Things were bad. And I thought, if I ever get a good job again, I'm going to save money and buy a piece of land. And that way I'll always have that piece of land in case something like this happens again. I can always just go park on my land. That was the idea. And that was the plan. I was thinking Arizona. I just grab a little piece of dirt out there. Not live there, but just in case something happens. And then I thought, you know what, I could retire there. And because it's close to Mexico. I was thinking I could just get prescriptions there, have my teeth worked on, let's go across the border. So that was all, the happy plan, and then the pandemic hit, and everything closed down, and I thought, wow, this ain't gonna work anymore. Luckily, I'd gotten a job through a friend. He hooked me up, got an interview, passed it, and moved to Arkansas, started working. But my plan by that point had changed. I started, it didn't really change. It changed, but it progressed. So I started watching the YouTube videos, like Wild Wonderful Off-Grid. Started being exposed to that, prepping, stuff like that. Wow, you know, these people are building a house. I never did it before. It's kind of cool. It kind of germinated in my head. That seed was planted. Oh, wow, I should build a house, you know? And it became about that. And then the prepping and stuff like that came into the mix. I started thinking, wow, you know, I need a bunch of land. You know, I'm going to have to plan for this and that. And it culminated with a big move to Kansas. I'll talk about that later. But eventually I pulled the trigger and went to Kansas. But that's how it happened. It was originally just having a place to park. That's what I need right now. It would have been that. That's what it would have been for. It's hard to park. You have to find places to park. I'm just lucky the cops are letting me. Because you can't, you know, private property is automatically out. You get caught there, it's trespassing and stuff. I don't want to get in trouble. And it's somebody's land, you know. I wouldn't want people doing it to me, even though I may let them actually. Well, they didn't trash it up. But yeah, in times like this, it would have came in handy. Just going and parking. Kind of like RVing or van life. Have a home base. But then the thought of actually building a house, that started consuming me. And it became all about that. And I still want to do that. I still love to build me a house. Actually do it myself. But that's where it's at now. That's how it started. That's where I'm at now. Still wanting the land. Still wanting the house. I want a garage too. And I still have hobbies I like. You know, electronics, building computers. I want to build arcade machines. Troubleshoot the electronics. I like that. Anyway, I guess those are different videos. But anyway, I just wanted to continue the the video on the end goal, the big goal, which is get land and build the house. Because I definitely don't want to be on Social Security and having to pay rent. I don't want to rely on that, on a landlord not raising it all the time. Because when I did move to Arkansas and I was able to save money, I got a good deal on rent. It was like $625. That was low. And it worked. I was saving money. And eventually he sold it. The landlord sold it. New landlord comes in. First thing raises the rent to $750. And then what was it, 3 months later, 4 months, raises it to $800, and that's where it stayed till I left. But it's really hard to find those deals. Anyway, I guess that's all for this one. Just wanted to add a little bit of backstory as to why I want to be self-sufficient. It's because of that eviction, scrambling to find another place. I just wanted that security. so I could just move to my little piece of land if I have to. And eventually for retirement I would. But that's another thing. I'm gonna make another video on that. There's something that's bothering me about it. I'm gonna run it by you guys. Maybe you guys can make comments about it or something. Give me some advice. Okay, I think I'm gonna cut this one. I'm Kirk Burleson, and you're watching Kirk's Life.